What's going on, guys? Yo, it's Grimm Reaper back with the official 2018 round one, match one of the motherfucking One Piece draft, nigga. Hey! That's
right. That's right.
Alright, nigga. Listen to Zoom, nigga. Alright, so today for the first matchup, we got the two honored teams, Yonko level, and we got the other honored team. What the fuck is your nigga's name?
The vengeful one.
The vengeful ones. Alright, so as we...
Wait, I thought we were the master race.
Wow.
No, they let Fruit get away with that dumbass.
Listen, man, I couldn't do that, man.
How y'all the master race? I got a lemur.
Bro, we got two white people on our team. That's all we need.
Yes, that's why I only respect
And
half of you.
Lucy has a white people voice like me. So
Hey, you're not even allowed to say nigga, Toddy. You can say nig. They're definitely half.
I come with the hard R's.
Oh my god.
Y'all need to chill, Jesus.
All right. So for team one, the vengeful ones.
Give him God.
The vengeful ones.
You let the niggas speak, bro?
Their teams consist of let's see what y'all niggas got in y'all slot, bro. They have Nia D. Hennings, Virgo Prototype, and Vengeful Eagle. All three of these individuals have. Hey, yo, hold on, bro.
Grimm.
Hey, yo, relax, bro.
Say that wrong on purpose.
All three of these guys have YouTube channels. They put out a bunch of different types of content, whether it's One Piece. I think they cover 7 Deadly Sins. Naya covers Tower of God. Vengeful Eagles covers a bunch of this shit, and Virgo covers One Piece a lot as well. So check out their content and check out their channel. Their team consists of Garp as their first pick. Their second pick is Law. Their third pick is Blackbeard. Their fourth pick is Kid. Their fifth pick is Koala. And that's the vengeful ones. Now, their opposing team today, as we mentioned, is Yonko level. This team is led by Froob and is backed up by Lucid and Toddy. Two special notes. Toddy got the first round pick for this year's draft, so congratulations to him. And Lucid was actually contended for the best debater in last year's draft. So this team should be able to bring some fire. This match was going to be named Match of the Week, but there was another one with even more fire. So let's see what these niggas pull out today, bro. We're starting it off with some dice.
How you gonna insult us right to our face? You too.
He knows what's coming later this week, and he don't want y'all embarrassed, okay?
Yeah,
Just suck my fire dick with that bullshit.
So for the next step is that we're gonna have the captains go into For the People and do your dice rolls. As you guys can all see, the For the People chat in our Discord is live and it's current to the stream. So you, the viewers, if you guys want to have more input into the matches, if you guys want to speculate and talk about what's going on live in the matches, hop into the Discord. The link's in the description during the premiere, and you can check it out next time. But let's have Froob and Vengeful Eagle do the dice shit.
What's the command again?
/R1D10.
Oh, Grim, you forgot something.
What's up, baby?
Like that?
For those of you guys watching, if we get to 50 likes, Grim is going to get a haircut. So go ahead and hit that like button. We got to clean our niggas up. We got to get him clean.
Ah, shit, I got a 1.
All right. Got him. 7.
Hey, 100 likes and he dropping it like it's hot.
Dropping it like it's hot.
All right,
So 100 likes and he's going to wear a hat from now on in this video.
Has won the dice roll.
I stop.
And it looks like he's going to be leading off with the ability to respond first. Froob, you're going to respond second. So, Vengeful, please choose your character list. The first question is going to be the most hyped character.
Who do I think is the most hype character we got? I'm going to have to say, I mean, I got to agree with Hemmings here. I got to say that Blackbeard is definitely the most hype character due to, I mean, just on the surface level, he's got the Gura, he's got the Yami Yami, he's got the 10 Titanic captains behind him, he's got the, the Yonko status at this point.
Yeah, bro, I don't care, bro. Just tell me who you're picking. Blackbeard?
Yeah.
All right, facts.
Oh, my bad. I thought you wanted to elaborate.
No, not yet, bro. Y'all niggas is time, bro.
So did I.
All right, Froob, who's your selection for the character list?
Can you give me can we talk for 1 minute?
Go ahead.
Yeah, hold up.
We got two really good options.
I think fucking
We
Luke
can
didn't
save
finish
Mama.
it.
We can save Mama, or we can guarantee this round and go with Mama, or we can just go with.
Mama stand.
Let's just
My
use
bad,
let's
I
just
had
use
to
the
sneeze.
mama. Let's just use Mama. Big Mom.
Most
Big
hype.
Mom, sexy ass.
What? This is a negative diff.
I'm getting turned on just thinking about it.
So you're
Grimm, that
choosing
was
Big
a pick,
Mom?
by the way. I don't know. Yeah, Big Mom.
All right.
Big Mama.
Damn. All right. So then, Vengeful, you're gonna have exactly 1 minute to detail. Excuse me. You're gonna have 4 minutes to detail your synopsis with your team.
Hello? Am I fucking muted? What the fuck?
Oh shit!
Four is a lot. But
It's too late now, Lucid. But
All right.
Why?
And,
He's the hypest?
and like you said, with this portion, any one of us can interject for our teammates at this point, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So you'll have 4 minutes starting now. Vengeful Eagle.
So excluding all the things I said before about the surface level stuff, you know, his powers and what he's got now. I mean, as far as his status within the story, he was laying low on Whitebeard's crew for like 10 years, just literally plotting, planning. And he's okay. 13 years ago, Shanks was a Yonko confirmed in the data book. Before that, that was when he fought Blackbeard and scarred him. People think this is creditless, but Shanks told Whitebeard himself, yo, this man is not a joke. He scarred me, and I was not playing around at this time.
Pre-devil.
That was pre-Devil Fruit, yes. Pre-Fruits, pre-all that. And that was before Shanks was a Yonko, I believe, as far as the timeline goes. But as far as it's been presented, they've grown equally. So he's on that Shanks level.
Yeah, in my opinion, he has the highest ceiling other than Luffy within the story. He has the Guruguru no Mi, as earlier stated, as well as the Yami Yami. And he is, and from what we know, we've seen in the latest chapter that he's seemingly mastered it as just from a bellow. He's been able to make the ground shake. He is absolutely crazy hype. Like when you first see Teach back in Jaya, and you hear his amazing speech about how the dreams of man may never die and such, and how go to the Sky Island. And after that, you immediately see that he's actually like not just some rando that was eating pie with Luffy. He's actually the Blackbeard commander who actually also destroyed Drum Island. Like he legitimately was super hyped, especially when you figure out that that's the one that Ace was searching for. When you figured that out back at the beginning of Alabasta.
The thing that strikes me that makes Teach very hype, for one, is you don't get too much of him. You get him in increments, right? He's not always in the spotlight. In addition to that, the thing about Teach that makes him extremely exciting is that he's the catalyst for Marineford, which is one of the most beloved arcs in One Piece, one of the most hypest moments. It is a literal war. And Teach was the catalyst and the person behind that because he caught and captured Ace with a long, detailed plan. One thing about Blackbeard that strikes me as very interesting is that by most conventional means in a battle shonen, the top tiers in the verse usually excel at mostly every category, and Teach has proven to be extremely strong without a single speed feat. He has not dodged a single attack aimed at him. He may have blocked it, but he gets hit and takes more damage. And to me, it's really fucking exciting to see that because you're usually gonna expect all these top tiers to be blitzing and going around. This guy's just taking hits, getting up, and kudos and punching niggas. Like it's extremely fun to watch. I love it. The man literally brings the hype.
1 minute left.
And he's the upstarter of the Yonko right now.
1 minute left. 30 seconds left.
Okay, wonderful. So when we speak about Kurohige, we talk about the man who took down also the remnants of the Whitebeard commanders, and he also became a Yonko in a relatively short time. And it was a 2.2 billion berry bounty, which you would think was Blackbeard wasn't crazy. He wasn't out there because when he was with Whitebeard, he was laying low. He didn't want to be in the spotlight. He didn't want to be the second division commander.
He was a caged beast. Correct.
He immediately rose to the 2.2 billion that he is now worth, which is a crazy, crazy jump when you think about it. And he's the highest bounty that we've heard of so far in the entire story.
And his crew is raw. He has the rawest niggas on his crew. All of them raw. M. Bison with a sword, Katrina Devon, all of them are just crazy. Like they're like real pirates.
These people were already top tiers before receiving those stolen Devil Fruits.
He pretty much rose to his status at will the second he wanted to.
Correct.
Exactly.
Everything was according to his
All right,
plan.
time's
And,
up.
and as the main
All right,
antagonist.
time's up. All right.
Okay.
The next team that's up is Froob. You guys will also have 4 minutes to detail the most hyped character. Please begin.
I had a dream. And in this dream, I was lost in darkness. And I moved around and I couldn't find anything. And I looked in the distance and a light called to me. And I ran towards that light and my heart was thumping. And when I got to the light, it was the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. It was Mama. Mama, the strongest person in One Piece. The immortal Mama. The untouchable Mama. The one character in One Piece where every time she is on screen, she makes the chapter. In Whole Cake Island, arguably one of the most shittiest arcs in the whole entire series, right? But every time Mama was on screen, we all got hyped. She alone energized the whole community. The community has never been more alive than Whole Cake Island, a trash arc, because of Mama. Every time you've seen her, she's doing something. She is untouchable. She is unstoppable. There has been no other character where they were featured in an arc and their hype did not die after the arc. Mama is the only person where she was featured in an arc, and then even after, you're still super geeked to see her. Somebody needs to stop. My heart's starting to pound.
You got to think that Big Mom is one of the first Yonkos that we've gotten her powers like fleshed out to like that extent, and Oda even had to nerf Big Mom to like a huge extent in Whole Cake Island to make like that arc, like not like just have Big Mom just like face roll everyone in that entire arc. Like the whole sickness thing that she had was pretty much put in there so that she didn't just one shot pretty much everyone on that entire island. And if you compare that to someone like Blackbeard, who just gets pretty much just one shot every single time he's on arc by like Whitebeard and even Magellan, and he has to have people save him pretty much and plot to save him, it doesn't even compare to people like the greatness of Big Mom.
She's literally untouchable. Where everybody else, oh my bad, so go ahead.
Big Mom is one of the most hyped characters solely based off the fact that her introduction was one of the best in the series because she was introduced to be so evil looking. It was like she was actually eating people as well. It was what the whole community believed at that point. What she was eating was screaming. We had no idea what her power was. So we're just like, yo, who is this woman eating people? She knew who Garp was, Luffy's grandfather, the hero of the Marines. And this is obviously going into after her introduction, but she was stated to be strong enough at 5 years old to be able to either be the fleet admiral or the leader of CP0.
Pre-Devil Fruit.
The best bodyguard. Yes, pre-Devil Fruit. The best bodyguard of the Celestial Dragons. And that's something because that position alone adds hype. And she was able to be that. She had that potential from 5 years old. And then she got one of the best Paramecia Devil Fruits we have seen in the series. The most capable. Her Devil Fruit itself can create a fucking fleet, an army. Whose Devil Fruit can create an army? Some Devil Fruits can take out an army, and so can hers. But her Devil Fruit can destroy and create an army.
Her Devil Fruit can take over other people's Devil Fruits. You saw Sparrow's candy come alive and become a giant-ass wave. And the beauty of Mama is you always think you've seen the best of what she's capable of.
Time's up.
And throughout...
Okay.
Better stop me, Grimm.
All right. Okay. The next portion is our response portion. Now how this works, guys, and viewers, is that one team will make a statement for 15 to 30 seconds, and the other team will respond to that statement or to the question for 15 to 30 seconds. This portion will go on.
Wait a minute, real quick. If you could remember something they just said in the last segment, can you just counter that or no?
You can do whatever you want, whenever you want.
You can, Hemming.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, you can pretty much just say whatever you want, and then we just respond to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, wait, who goes first? Us?
Hold on, bro. Damn.
All right, bro. Shit, I'm my first time. Like, allow me.
Y'all got 9 seconds left.
Go ahead, Hammer.
All right.
Ignore the
Once one team responds, the other team will respond. This portion will go on for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we will have our conclusion portion, along with a free response portion. Now, Vengeful Eagle, the Vengeful ones, if you guys will lead, you have 30 seconds from when you start.
Okay, so I want to kind of Fruit's point about like Blackbeard not being excited from being one-shotted all the time, because seeing a character actually triumph and go through adversity, lose, and get to a low point and still succeed is far more exciting than somebody who's completely dominant. Watching Big Mom completely lose her mind and chase a slow chase to Straw Hat and not succeed is fucking boring. So I am not trying to hear that. Blackbeard actually lost to Magellan, sure, but Magellan is literally the leader of Impel Down, or the jailer or whatever, head warden, and that is the jail that holds the most dangerous criminals in the One Piece universe. He is not a scrub. There's no shame in that. And look where he come today.
Yeah, well, my entire point with what I said there was, if we go off purely based on feats, what we've seen from Blackbeard really doesn't have much outside of like off-screen stuff. Like you said, he apparently defeated Shanks, but from everything we've seen on screen, he pretty much he tried to fight Whitebeard, but Whitebeard pretty much just grabbed his ass and he's like, "Daddy, please no!" And it's like, I don't know, everything we've seen from Blackbeard just kind of made him look like I don't know, just not as hype as he should be. We would expect.
Well, he did take that quick fist and get back up though, and arguably he himself said that he was still getting used to the extra damage that his fruit gave him from attacks that he received. So I mean, if he's taking that quake fist still, that he's got some decent durability. You can't just discredit that.
What notable character has Big Mom legitimately defeated on screen?
All right. Is it my time, Grimm?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, first of all, this ain't Nick Jr., nigga. Nobody gives a fuck about if a nigga overcomes adversity. That nigga just loses. That nigga runs away constantly. Several times we have seen his ass run away. Mama don't run away from fucking nobody. And Mama doesn't take L's. She don't get caught on fire. She doesn't get quake fisted. No, she runs niggas. And she was doing all this while nerfed. Yes, she was chasing an entire crew by herself, and you guys know all the circumstances of Whole Cake Island. She did all this while nerfed, and still had feet on feet on feet on feet during that chase.
All right, well, so let me interject. So if she was doing so well chasing a half of the crew while nerfed, while also getting Vagabond Drill by also a lesser character, obviously not Yonko status, correct? Also a lesser character, took her ass off the boat, and she would have died had not it been for Zeus. Or Prometheus, rather.
That is her. That's her path.
Yeah.
Lucy, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I'll take this one. Okay, well, we've seen Big Mom and we've seen Capone say, I've been with her for a whole year and I have not seen her take any damage because she's like an iron balloon. And I done seen Blackbeard on the floor crying and wheezing from pain, even from a fucking jet pistol from Luffy, to call this man strong and call this man hype. And Big Mom, I know, she chased out the fucking Pirate King after he done sailed all the way through the Grand Line.
He had to sneak it.
Also, I wanted to retort with the whole you don't see everything gets off screen by Blackbeard. Well, first of all, a guy who all of you hype up, which is Marco the Phoenix, him and all the commanders got fucking stomped by Blackbeard. Legitimately,
I mean,
like
what?
In the payback.
We're just gonna mix shit up now.
What do you mean? How are we making shit? How am I making shit up? Did he not lose the payback war?
But you acting like he did that single-handedly. He had his whole crew.
Without PG.
Absolutely not. He didn't obviously do it single-handedly. But I'm just saying that him and his crew took down the remnants of the Whitebeard pirates.
Yeah, but the thing is there wasn't any Yonko level character to kind of like match him. I mean, he beat Marco, but we're not exactly.
So you admit to his strength.
You think Mama ain't gonna beat Marco? Mama would eat Marco.
I mean,
that's the thing.
Hold on. This is not the free response. This is not the free response portion. One team speaks, you got 30 seconds, and then switch. And you're echoing, Virgo. Please handle that. Whoever's turn it was.
Yeah, I guess your guys' turn.
I was gonna say we kind of got to factor in portrayal a lot if we're talking about hype as well, and I would say, judging by the fact that we never saw any of Whitebeard's laughs generate an earthquake, at this point in time, Blackbeard is arguably stronger than what we saw from Whitebeard with the Gurgur no Mi at least in Marineford. And people, if you want to laugh at that, it is what it is. But I mean, the facts are there. We never saw Whitebeard earthquake and shit from laughing.
All right. That is completely untrue because it was established that to awaken your devil fruit, you have to spend time with it. Blackbeard has had that fruit for 2 years. Mama has had her fruit since she was fucking 5. She has mastered that fruit. Blackbeard has not even mastered the darkness fruit, let alone the Gurgur no Mi. And Blackbeard he has panels where we're surprised how bad he looks. Mama always stands out. Literally always. There is not one bad panel of Mama.
That's completely untrue because she's gotten hit with her own attack with Zeus. She's got blitzed by Brooke. She's got hit off the ship.
Please.
She has literally chased them for cappers and has not accomplished anything. She's literally a dumb, goofy bitch who goes on hunger pangs and like.
But that's your opinion. That's all subjective.
I thought this was
Wait, 3 seconds. Interrupted, by the way.
Hang on.
It's time already.
I just want to say, did y'all forget when she was rolling down the chateau going roly-poly-oly?
All right.
Isn't this a part where I speak with 30 seconds and no
It's Lucid's turn now.
Correct. Go ahead, Hemmings.
No, it's Lucid.
Go ahead.
All right, go.
Okay, well, yeah. You guys still have yet to name a better feat than Big Mom chasing Blackbeard and her crew, and his crew off of her territory. There's no better feat that Blackbeard has done than that. You guys
chasing Blackbeard? Go ahead. Sorry.
Roger, sorry.
She has all the best categories covered. She has the best durability.
Yo, Toddy, you cannot speak. It's their team's turn.
Oh, Lucid ended his earlier. My bad.
Do you want to go now or what? Because I wanted to refute that.
Go ahead.
Dude. Roger, it was stated specifically that Roger went into her territory not even wanting to fight her. He went there just to get the poneglyph and bounce. That was that. He wasn't trying to fight her. She didn't chase him.
No scary shit.
She might have chased him because she was mad that he did her dirty, but she wasn't beating nobody down. Nothing. No, she didn't. No. Roger went in there, did what he wanted to do, and went out without any consequences.
The same man that was on equal standing in a class with Whitebeard.
You cannot add. That is Virtual's turn.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we're kind of like.
Let me just say this. Let me take this one.
Yeah.
The thing is, what you just described is a humongous feat for Mama. Because we have seen Goldie Rogers' character. He is not a punk ass nigga. He is not a nigga that likes to sneak around and hide. But the thing is, with Mama, he had to. Because if that nigga was going to be himself and just challenge Mama, that would have been his last challenge of his life. So the fact that who we understand to be the strongest character in the series had to sneak around Mama. Well, Grimm, you got to stop me, nigga. I'm getting too hot.
Switch, please. Go ahead. The Mitchell ones.
Go ahead, Naya or Virgo.
Oh.
Virgo, you want to go? I'll take it.
No, go ahead, Naya.
They don't want no more.
Okay, so
absolutely
the whole this whole idea of this sneaking around stuff is just really dumb to me because any and all characters at some point would have had to run and or make a tactical retreat because Luffy has had to done it. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are saying all of this stuff, but who beat her to become Pirate King? It was Roger. So she didn't accomplish nothing in the 68 years that she's been alive doing what she's doing. And Blackbeard's already making all of these strides at a way younger age. Blackbeard was just biding his time on Whitebeard's ship as a caged beast, waiting for his chance to bare his fangs against the world. And the moment he got the chance, he went fucking crazy. Shit, damn. One more time.
Yeah, but the whole thing about what you're saying is, yeah, he waited all that time, but while he was waiting, Big Mom was a Yonko and doing things. Big Mom was fucking a pirate, and she was a great pirate since Roger's era. Roger, Whitebeard, and Shiki. Big Mom was a pirate amongst those people. And even in that time, she still had a road poneglyph because that's what Roger was doing there. Blackbeard is still trying to get these road poneglyphs. Big Mom is still an obstacle for Blackbeard to overcome. And yes, that goes both ways, but he doesn't have no fucking poneglyph she wants to get.
Time's up.
Okay, may I? All right, cool.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so the question that we were presented was, who is the most hype? First of all, I want to tell y'all right now, when nobody's saying some, oh shit, Big Mom's coming. Absolutely not. Every time Blackbeard's going on, niggas jizz themselves. And first of all, Blackbeard literally has the highest ceiling out of all the Yonko. Literally, all he can do is continue to grow and grow and grow as his crew continues to accumulate more different fruits and whatnot. Blackbeard literally is like we all know he's going to be basically in game for Luffy. And we're going to see him at Raftel most likely, and he's going to be the final antagonist. Nobody is going to be like, damn, Big Mom going to be at the end of the story. Absolutely not. The most hype is the question. That is what we're debating about.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's not even true though. Like if you think about Wano, right, and where the current state of where the arc is at now, if you see Mama pop up in Wano, like that shit is gonna be nuts, bro. The entire community is gonna fucking lose their mind if Mama shows up at Wano, especially if she has like a fight with Kaido or something like that. It's pretty much gonna be game over in terms of hype.
Is that time?
Time's
Yeah,
up.
time.
I don't see why they would freak out because it's like confirmed she's coming. She said it herself. Like if they're freaking out about that, then I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Honestly, it's already confirmed. We should already been hyped about it and moved on. If Blackbeard showed up in Wano at this point, we'd be like, oh shit, now it's really going down. Where's Shanks at?
Yeah. Wait.
I'm just gonna slide that to the side because that was such a trash argument. I don't even want to address it. But
Right.
the thing if we're talking about hype, to me, the biggest like enlightenment on how hype she is that the community, One Piece community, has never been more alive than Mama's arc. Because of Mama herself. That's when One Piece exploded. That's when we all got to know each other. That brought us all together in the name of Mama G. Blackbeard didn't bring me to y'all niggas. Mama did.
That's not true because Big Mom is on a general scale seen to be one of the most least impressive Yonko, and the person who carried the person who carried that arc was actually Katakuri. Katakuri is probably the one who's the most exciting person on
You're
that
still
crew.
too close to the mic.
Bro, I'm mad far from my mic. What the hell? How's that sound?
Something happened to your mic, dog.
You
sound like,
Yeah,
like
it sounds
fucking
good.
10 fucking.
It sounds like it's in your mouth.
Is it our turn, Grimm? You lie to my face if you tell me Mama wasn't the most hype person in Whole Cake Island. Katakuri, her son, by the way, was a great character, but Mama was the one we were looking forward to on screen. Mama had us talking every time she did something new. It was always Mama. She made that arc. That whole arc took place in a country where all of her homies are alive. Everything's alive in that country. Mama is Whole Cake Island.
Does that sound better or no?
So don't tell me Katakuri made that arc.
Is it my turn?
That sound fine now or no?
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Okay, Hemmings, may I?
I didn't even hear what he said. Disconnect. Go ahead.
You didn't want to hear it.
So if I'm not mistaken, 896 I believe was during the category Luffy fight, which one of the most fucking explode. The internet exploded. Legitimately, videos on videos on videos. Punk got views and views and views, and like everybody reacted to it and was crazy on it, and like people were like going ham. It's because of the Katakuri during the Luffy fight. You lied to my face if you think that the Katakuri Luffy versus Luffy was more hyped than Mama chasing a ship statically for 7 travel chapters. There's no way that they can even equate.
That fight was more hype than a candy wave, a live candy wave. That was more hype than Prometheus becoming a sun and falling on niggas. That was more hype than Prometheus blowing up to the size of a small planet and chasing that ship. That was more hype than Mama sucking that nigga out of Gear 4. That was more hype than Mama blocking a Gear 4 punch with her elbow. That was more hype than Prometheus's thunderbolt on that bitch and she walked through it and she walked through ground. That fight was more hype than that.
Time's up.
See, but we're not comparing Big Mom to Katakuri here. We're comparing her to Blackbeard, and everybody thinks Shanks is the God King. Well, who gave Shanks the only actual injury he's ever gotten? Come on now, like that's the most hype thing you ever need to mention.
Yeah,
and you can try and discredit it as much as you want, but literally Shanks said himself, Blackbeard gave this to me. I was not playing around. The shit is real.
Time's up.
And it's
Nigga, my bitch scratched me in the bedroom last night. That don't mean she can beat me up. I don't give a fuck about that.
What the fuck?
That scratch don't mean anything. Like that, we don't know how strong Shanks was back then. We have no idea. We don't know if he snuck that scratch on that nigga or anything. A scratch don't mean nothing. My cat just scratched me. Doesn't mean he's about to whoop my ass.
We do know though, because Shanks said it himself. He was serious. He wasn't playing around when that happened. So we do know that's not true. It's just
Kitty, you just scratched me. I'm mad at you.
That's nice, dude.
I said it myself.
Fight to the death.
Anyways, like it doesn't really matter because that's not the only injury Shanks got. His arm got bit off by a sea king. His body is not durable. He's not.
We all know he gave it up on
purpose. Hold off.
I know. I'm sorry.
Who? Hold on.
You're good. You're good.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I don't care if he did it on purpose. It's the fact that his body is not durable. And we're not even fucking talking about Shanks. That's your opinion. Fuck all that. We're talking about Big Mom. And the thing about Big Mom and Blackbeard is Blackbeard is running. Big Mom has not ran from anybody
in her life.
Yeah, and you saying Katakuri has more hype than Big Mom.
Okay, I got this one. So one of the biggest criticisms of Whole Cake Island has always been the chase and Big Mom, and no one has ever been excited about that. Look at a lot of characters in One Piece that are like so scared about what Blackbeard could do. Even Whitebeard was like, "Yo, Ace, I know what he did, but I have a bad feeling about this. Don't do it." And he got his ass clapped because he went after Whitebeard. And even Shanks was like, "Yo, I don't know about this. Remember, he's the one who's clapping me. Don't let Ace go after him." And what happened to Ace? He got clapped. Blackbeard is the person who's making shit happen in the One Piece universe. He's
making waves.
Okay. That was a good point, but once again, that's your opinion. So I mean, who really cares? The thing about Big Mom is you were saying now how Katakuri has more hype than her, but at the end of the day, if you have a huge family and you're going out and having children, they killed Ace because that was Roger's son and he had that hype that Roger had. It was all Roger's hype. So do you want me to list off the people that carry Big Mom's hype and Big Mom gets hype from? Because Katakuri,
that's incorrect because we were unaware of the connection between Portuguese the Ace and Goldie Roger until Sengoku told us. As far as we know, he was just a person on Whitebeard's crew. And at the end of the day, the catalyst for that entire War of the Best that gave us some of the hypest moments of the greatest characters assembling there to fight and go ham, all happened because Blackbeard was making moves, became a Shichibukai, infiltrated, impelled down, went to the lowest level and freed the fucking rawest criminals, had them fight each other to the death, and took the survivors. What are you saying to
me? And then got one shot by Magellan. Don't leave that part out, nigga. Him and his whole crew got one shot.
He got one shot by Magellan first, and yeah, he took the fucking.
Wait, hold on, no, stop. Toddy has to finish that.
Talk, yeah.
Damn, Lucy took me off my train of thought. But I don't know how long this portion is going to last, but I just want to point out Mama is clearly more hype because we have spent 90% of this portion of the debate talking about that goddess. We're not even wasting time on Blackbeard's ass because Mama gets all the attention. I love her so.
Okay, simp love it all aside, that's because you and you alone have been talking about Mama. I've even deviated from Mama and went to Katakuri, but I digress. I was saying that Blackbeard easily is more hype because he easily has the higher ceiling, which you cannot debate. We easily became a warlord with relativity after defeating Ace, easily became a Yonko after defeating the Whitebeard pirates. There is nothing that you can say that could contest.
Just because you have a higher ceiling does not make you more hype. Luffy has the highest ceiling in the series, and we're more excited when. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, look. All right, we're going to let you guys go on the free-for-all where you guys can interrupt, go at each other. You can jump on each other's points. I want you guys to keep in mind, though, stay on the thing of why your character is the most hype. What makes your character the most hype?
Right? Yeah, stay on topic, niggas.
If the conversation is not legible, we will stop you. If we stop you 3 times, the round will end. So please be legible and please interrupt at an appropriate time. Begin.
Sorry, Grimm also, am I good?
Yeah.
Try to be civilized, motherfuckers.
All right, thank you.
Got 10 minutes. Go.
10 minutes. God damn.
We just did it for 20. We're fine.
Okay. So, I think the greatest point when it comes to hype, the greatest point that can be made is how the community reacted to these characters. Blackbeard has been a featured character for years now, but the community did not grow when he was introduced. Mama came and the community exploded. That is a fact that is not debatable. That Mama and her arc made this community what it is today. And it's not because of anybody else. It's not because of storyline, Luffy, or anything. It's Mama. Mama and the story that she created with her powers and her family and everything. She's just the hypest. That's why we're all here. That's why we all know each other.
One of the biggest booms happened in Marineford. It wasn't during Whole Cake Island, so stop that.
Well, it doesn't matter because Blackbeard wasn't a featured character in that.
May I interject?
Yes, he was. Did he not just take someone's devil fruit and was the first person?
Nigga, he was in 4% of the arc. He was in 4% of the arc.
Okay,
what does
he
that
was
matter?
not a you know, do I need to
really was in 4% of the arc as well, nigga.
Unprecedented at the end of the arc that was unseen and was crazy. We were like, what the hell did this man just do? He just
if you want to be real, what made the community boom was Katakuri and his future sight.
That is not true because the community had boomed well before God Jr. was even known. Well before he was known, I was fucking with y'all niggas.
That's fine. That's fine. Katakuri can be the reason. You can give Katakuri hype, but guess what? That's Charlotte Katakuri.
That is Charlotte Katakuri.
That's Big Mom's hype.
But it wasn't Big
Mom's hype. Come, listen.
Big Mom's second son. He gets his hype. He's fucking 15 feet tall. Why? Because Big Mom is a giant. All of his hype is from Big Mom. That's her child. That's her child. His bounty His bounty goes up. Why? Because he's the son of Big Mom. Charlotte Katakuri. Don't ever forget
Blackbeard is the only character we've ever known.
Blackbeard had a 20-year plan to get it out the mud.
Hold on. The conversation isn't legible.
I'm sorry.
Please slow down.
Hold on, I'm getting a call real quick. What's up? What's up?
Go ahead, Six.
Oh, okay, I got you. Hey, Lucid, that was Virgo's mom. He wanted me to tell you to go ahead and tell him. Go ahead, tell him.
Okay. Trash jokes aside.
And then he's not gonna follow up with me. I got you, Lucid. That's okay.
Exactly.
I got mama on my side. I got mama on my side.
Anyway, trash jokes aside. Blackbeard easily has the highest ceiling, which you know that, which we have no choice but to admit.
Having the highest ceiling is not a good argument, Virgo, because Luffy has the highest ceiling in the entire series, and we are more excited to see Mama, God Jr., Marco, and Arashi. We're more excited to see any of these characters.
They were easily impressed. They were. They're like, oh my God, his bounty is higher than God Jr.
It wasn't the hypest moment of the year.
Are you hearing this highest ceiling? Is the question most potential or is the question most hype?
Yeah.
He might have hype later on.
You gotta tell me.
The hype comes from him having
hype. Talking about who has the hype now. He might get some hype, but we talking about who has the hype now.
Blackbeard is the only character we've ever known in the series that.
You want him to get hype. You think he's gonna get hype. You think he's gonna get hype. You wish he could get hype. He could get hype. He would get hype.
Absolutely not.
Would have got hype. But like, I mean, we're at chapter 926, and where's the hype?
Blackbeard,
we're talking about the hype.
Stop. The conversation is not legible again. Please allow each other to finish your statements, or we'll have to end the round.
I'm trying.
The most amazing thing too is if you add up, if we had a spreadsheet and you had Blackbeard's feats besides Mama's feats, Blackbeard would have what, maybe 4 or 5? Mama has 5,622 and one art. Every time you saw that bitch, every time you saw her,
name an inkling of them.
What is with all this?
Name an inkling of them.
Hyperboles and rhetorical.
Let's talk about her introduction, which is arguably one of the best introductions in the whole series. Where the second one, where everything is fucking alive, where everything is completely alive. And then we learn all this shit about her history. Goldie Roger had a sneak in there instead of fighting her. And then we see her block a Gear 4 punch with her elbow and suck that nigga out of Gear 4. And then we see her match another elephant gun and Sanji shit at the same time. Then we see her do a sword attack, which completely vaporized everything for miles.
Time's up.
And
Stop.
then seeing Prometheus. Stop. They asked me to tell you the feats, nigga. I could go for an hour and a half.
And I wish I was allowed to elaborate on Blackbeard. But
that is the end of the free response portion. Very good job, guys.
Thank you.
Right.
Shout out to Mama.
If the captains, Vengeful Eagle and Frubicus, please meet me on For the People with your dice rolls. This will be for the conclusion portion. You will now have 3 minutes each to state why your character is the most hype.
We roll again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Now here we go, another tie.
Evil shit.
Pick your phone up off the table, dog. Whoever it is.
Shut up.
All right, so I won. I go first. I get to pick who goes first.
Do as you please.
Wait, what?
You get to pick through.
Okay, they go first then.
Good choice.
That's fine.
Okay, so like Naya said, if we're just going right off hype, Blackbeard is the only character that we've ever known across the entire history of the series. Not only the main storyline that we've been introduced to have 2 devil fruits. That's hype as fuck. One of the 2 belonged to the character that everybody was pooping their pants over just as much as Big Mom, arguably Whitebeard, the strongest man in the world. How many people in the One Piece community think Blackbeard is going to be one of the final villains in the series? That's hype. Anybody want to pick this up?
I got it. And like legitimately, like y'all wanted to name feats, fine. Well, I'll start with Blackbeard denying being 2nd Division commander, which was you A stands seem to love. Let's try and deny him scarring Shanks pre Devil Fruit. Let's deny him washing Ace and also becoming a warlord after turning his ass in. Let's deny him.
With no prior bounty. Remember that. No prior bounty.
Correct. Let's also try and deny him pulling up to Marine 4 with all these top tiers and showing out easily. Let's deny him walking into Impel Down like he owned the shit. Let's deny him being a Yonko. We cannot.
In a series like this where I feel like a lot of the characters are apes, let's just keep it real. It's very nice to see like that a character like Blackbeard is actually pretty fucking cerebral because of his meticulous planning. That's why characters like I feel like Law
20-year plan
cool because this man is like, you know, he's an ape in himself in a way. He's a D also. He's a D, and throughout all of his plans, like. Look what he accomplished the moment he just like, all right, I'm ready. I got the fruit I needed, and it was go time. There was no breaks. There was no stopping. It was accomplishment after accomplishment after accomplishment. I'm a fucking Yonko. Give me all of Oyaji's territories. Mine. Easy. Give it to me. It's my era. Fruit in my left hand, fruit in my right hand. What, you want a fruit, Shiryu? You get a fruit. You want a fruit?
Exactly.
You get a
Millie
fruit.
rock on them shits.
What are you
Millie
guys
rock
talking to me? No one likes Mom. No one likes Big Mom. Lin is whack. She is one of the biggest issues with whole.
She's a mere Yonko, nigga.
Yo, Jinbei came like, thanks. I'm out. Like, he ain't afraid of you. Like, come on. Like, I'm not trying to hear this. She's bottom tier to 4 easily.
Josh Mike.
You got like 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
I mean, what you mean? What you mean? I mean,
and if we're and
sure,
like, the durability that you guys like to hang on to so much, do you not think that Whitebeard's fruit, the Gura Gura no Mi, what people think is what scarred Kaido is not penetrating her durability? The earthquakes, really? Like, come on now, let's be real.
Stop. All right, Fruit.
All right.
So we have Big Mom, as I said, from a child, she had the potential to be a fleet admiral or a Cypher Pole agent. On the other hand, Blackbeard as a young pirate was coating until of Whitebeard because he wasn't strong enough. Big Mom was a captain since she was 5 years old. Blackbeard was a subordinate under the world's strongest man, someone who was going up against Big Mom in their great ages.
And never got that poneglyph.
Yeah, you gotta
never
think
got
about,
that poneglyph. Mama's poneglyph has not moved since she got it because she is that strong. We're talking about hype, and I've already mentioned not only was the community reinvigorated, but I was talking to y'all while these feats were going on, and I heard how excited and how happy and how stoked we were every time Mama showed out. When she sucked him out of Gear 4, we were spazzing in the Discord. When Prometheus grew up super, super big, we were spazzing in the Discord. When she turned a candy wave into a monster, we were spazzing in the Discord. When she threw the sword slash and evaporated everything, we were spazzing. Every time she did, you guys can say like she ruined that arc, but every time she did something, that was when we were the most excited. Yes, I will not take Blackbeard's hype away from you. He is hype, but we don't get super amped every time he's on screen. He's not always doing something that impresses us. Mama impresses us every time, and you guys can deny it if you want to, but it's true.
Yeah, plus, not to mention that Oda said himself in interview, I think it was, that this Wano might have a bigger war than even Marineford. And with Big Mom coming and maybe the Marines, she's probably going to be one of the biggest factors in that war. So that just adds even more to the hype of Big Mom. If Blackbeard even comes at the end, it's going to be to pull like a Whitebeard 2.0 where he takes someone's double for something. It's not going to be nearly as hype as Big Mom's role in that arc. If she has a role.
She's so hyped that in the middle of the climax of the story during the wedding, Oda just automatically gave us a flashback of this bitch's childhood, and we still love those chapters. Even though it took away from the action, we still loved it because we got to get to know more about this beautiful, beautiful woman. And within that backstory, we got one of the most hypest statements ever, that she was capable of being a fleet admiral at 5 pre-Devil Fruit, just based off of her abilities. And the fact that she's so hyped too because she's been shown to be completely invulnerable. Like a character in a villain in the series that is undefeatable is as hype as it gets.
Yeah,
Mama is the Madara.
I'd also
She's
quickly like to
cocky.
point out, really quick. I'd also
is hype. Okay.
No, I was just gonna point out we spent a big portion of this debate arguing whether Katakuri or Big Mom was more hype in Whole Cake Island when instead of oh shit. Oh.
All right, guys.
Damn.
That was the end.
I was about to get to a point
of the first round. You guys did an amazing job pushing out the question, who is the most hype? Please give us 1 minute to deliberate.
Good round one, nigga. Good round one, boys.
Man, y'all lost that round when we picked Mama a couple weeks ago.
No, I mean, not really. I was trying to give y'all kudos, but now I'm gonna be a dick.
Wait, what's Patrick for?
What's the question?
No, Toddy, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's not when we picked Mama. It's when they picked Garp first.
What kind of first pick is that?
I wasn't around for any of this.
What you got against?
Then why do you have Garp?
But I wasn't around.
What you got against Garp?
Yeah, Garp is.
Won't be influential. Don't worry.
You'll find out.
I was trying to be like actual cordial and say good job, faggots, but you're being assholes.
We are. We're not being assholes.
I think we made an
assholes. And guess what? You can make it seem like a bad thing, but I'm a bleached asshole.
Lucid, you're fodder. Hush.
I just want to know what Patrick is.
Yeah, we'll see who's fodder.
You is.
Okay.
1 minute.
That's what I'm asking. Like, is Patrick around? That's what I keep asking.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
It's a mystery question.
Right,
they gave us a ton of time.
Yeah, like cut that to like 10. That's for like the 20 minutes.
The back and forth was super long.
We had one portion of it alone those 20 minutes.
All right. Charlie, if you're ready.
Wrong.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Wrong.
Yeah.
All right. It was good from both sides. I liked how, in the beginning, Teddy was talking about how Big Mom, all the little feats that Big Mom has done, you know, walking through the earth and shit like that. That shit was funny. I like how Lucid brought up the whole family lineage shit and argued that that could be the hype brought to Katakuri. I do wish I would have heard the last little point of what you're gonna say, or what Fruit was gonna say about the Katakuri thing, because that was brought a lot into the argument. I like the whole Blackbeard thing of when we see him, his plans and shit brings the hype, and we know that he's gonna continue to do something, be the greater evil. Um, Overall, though, I think I'm gonna have to go with the. I'm gonna have to go with Big Mom just because of the last argument of bringing up the intro of her was good and hype in itself, and then the whole of when Toddy brought up the in the middle of the start of the action scene, they bring her past up, and that in itself reveals hype information that uh, rejuvenated the community at that moment. So I'm gonna have to give it to Big Mom for this one.
Um, like I said in the beginning, this match had the potential to be game of the week, and it's looking that way. Um, I really liked how in the beginning we talked about like on Fru's side, they were popping out with how Big Mom has an entire fleet out here, and that she's been hyped throughout the entire thing. They've mentioned consecutive feats that she's done, but then the venture ones came with really strong points, and one that like hit me really hard was when they mentioned how Shanks himself said that he wasn't like playing when he got the scar with the kid, and that this guy like they even mentioned that he's been scheming. He was like a second commander for by choice, and he chose to not take the position. So when it came down to that decision, I really had to lean on the fact of when they mentioned Fleet Admiral at 5 and the hype that it brought, along with the consecutive number of feats that I from hearing how they said it, I have to go with Big Mom. I think that is the most hyped character. Milo.
Well, first, both teams did really good. Like you had interesting argument styles, and for me, feats aren't really the only thing that bring hype. However, I do like at the Big Mom team in their end the way they describe how every week we were people were talking about it, and that's what hype is. It doesn't have to be a feat for you to talk about it, like, and that was big for me. And I love the fact that the other team, Team Blackbeard, pointed out that Katakuri was really impactful during Big Mom's arc. But again, the closing argument that said at the age of 5, she was fleet admiral. Everything she did, it was talked about. Every week, people were talking about it. And that's what hype is. It gets people talking. So, Team Big Mom.
All right. Uh, with 3 out of the 3 votes in the first question of who's the most hype going to Big Mom, Team Yonko level takes the lead. We will now be heading on to the next question. All right. If you guys will look into the current matchup stats, all the viewers, if you guys will look into the For the People section, as the captains prepare to do their dice roll. The question is, which character has the most creative use of powers?
Ooh.
All right. If you guys will take to the for the people section and do your dice rolls.
Everybody on my team go in the group chat.
Yeah.
All right, you got 1 minute.
I can't find the group chat, but you guys know.
Nigga, we're DMing you right now. Can you carry him alone, Lucid? Because I can't argue for him that well. Did you solo them with him?
Of course.
Yo, all right, I'm done with that. I don't care.
All right, Lucid.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Lucid, you are 100% taking the lead on this. I'm putting my faith in you. Because I don't know him like that.
Of course.
Time's up.
Yeah. We choose first or whatever. Yeah, we choose Buggy.
All right. Now we'll team the vengeful one to make your pick. You have 1 minute.
I'm sorry. What was that? I was reading.
You guys got to pick your character.
Oh, we pick Law.
All right.
Did you say of their abilities or of their
most creative use of power?
All right. Fruit. Will you guys be going first, or will you be deferring?
We can go for.
All right. You have.
We said you can start off.
3 minutes.
Okay, well, first of all, the most creative use of power definitely goes to First, we're gonna start with Buggy's Devil Fruit alone. I'm gonna start off by saying he is the only person we've seen. Actually, no, I won't say only, but only person you'll remember in the story to ever make a fucking car out of their Devil Fruit and solely out of their body. And that's
the only car in the series, mind you.
Yeah, with wheels and everything. A moving car with an engine. It was going, and it was going. All right?
With the seat back.
And he has attacks like the Bara Bara Chop Circus because he's a clown and he keeps his moves to the circus theme. Also, when we see Buggy do creative things like Bara Bara Pop Escape, like he's able to split himself up and react to attacks before they come to him. And most of the people in the story are swordsmen who cannot cut him. That's obviously not creativity, the not cut him part. That's just his Devil Fruit. But every attack, he has the chance to dodge it, thanks to him creating an attack called Bara Bara Escape.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note that, like, if we're the question is who has the most creative use of powers, and it's actually just perfect for Buggy because the way he uses his Devil Fruit is just so insanely creative. Because you have to think the base of the Devil Fruit is just that he can split himself up, but what he can do with it, he has like all these different moves. Like Lucy said, he can go to a car, he can fly with his fruit. He's using his fruit in like so many like unique ways to the point where like it's way more than just a simple fruit that by another character would just be immune to slash attacks.
And keep in mind too, the nigga is short and he probably has a short complex. But this genius put on a parachute and stretched his limbs out, and now he looks like he's 11'6". Grimm wishes he had
giant. He became a giant. That's every little man's dream.
Ain't that right, Grimm? Shout out.
In the fight with Luffy, to talk about the creativity, he throws a punch with blades on his hand. Luffy catches it and thinks he reacts, and then the punch splits, and again Luffy has to dodge it. And Luffy thought he dodged it, but after that he threw the knife, and while Luffy was dodging the knife, the other hand came out of the fucking crowd, like of a crowd of knocked out people. Like he hides limbs between the crowd of knocked out He's knocked out crewmates or knocked out opponents so they can't see his attacks coming. Who is more creative than that?
And with such a simple fruit too, it would be so easy to make him one-dimensional. But he's done all these different things in such a short-ass arc. It's not like this was stretched over 50 chapters or anything like this. This was all done in a short-ass arc.
All right. Now, the vengeful ones. Please begin.
All right. Who got it? I got it?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Sweet. So we're talking about Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, who has the Opnomi fruit, and we have. So he not only did he what's the word for it? Entangled his fruit with his sword use, with also for an offensive standpoint. He also did it in medical standpoint. He also legitimately uses his fruit to save lives. As he saved Luffy, our main character, and he fucking legitimately like his techniques are also sword based. Like I remember, I don't know if you remember when he got his arm chopped off and like Dofu was getting ready to fuck him up, or rather the other bastard, the snot-nosed bastard, and he used Sturban Blade and literally brought his arm over because of his fruit with the sword. Like he's like so ingenuitive with it.
The Ope no Mi in itself, it is a very creative ability, but it was almost useless to anybody without the level of medical expertise that Law has, because everything that he's doing, every attack that it is somehow related to a medical procedure of some sort. Yeah. So
injection shot,
radio knife, all that stuff, amputate everything. It's insane. I like the point you made about the arm, tray bowl. That was really genius.
Yes.
But I want to take everybody back to Punk Hazard, to the moment this nigga took Smoker's heart, and think about how you felt at that moment, because that was something you probably didn't think he could do, and that was crazy. Obviously, heart transplanting, right? Him using the shambles to switch people's personalities together, like switching personalities, surgery. Like, I was completely flabbergasted by the amount and the scope of abilities that he can do with this ability. Obviously, he can also use that as a doctor. He is the surgeon of death. So with the kids being poisoned and stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, like how you brought the 100 hearts to become a fucking warlord.
Yeah, exactly, because the shit was crazy. Like he also saved all those gigantic kids from their poison and whatnot.
Chopper removed it on a cellular level.
It's
correct. And only he could do that. He saved Mocha.
Mm-hmm. It's do you want to add anything eventual?
I mean, I guess there's not much else to cover. I mean, my main point was going to be the heart thing. None of you guys mentioned it, but I would say the radio knife is something that we kind of just glanced over, but that's something that's, I mean, not many things in the series have been known to be able to contest against the Logia fruit, and Law specifically designed that to be able to fight against Logia fruit users. So that's like a really creative application of this fruit right there.
Like he legitimately uses shambles as a form of movement.
Yep.
Like, he'll throw a rock as he slashed Hawkins and literally moves because of that.
It's because that he's so methodical and so smart that he maximizes the efficiency of the fruit, because he'll do things like switch the stone with bullets. Damn.
All right.
Damn.
We are now entering the response portion. If you guys all remember the question, we are discussing which of these characters has the most creative use of powers. Fruit, if you'll lead the way.
Yeah. So the thing about Law is that, like, the question is who is the most creative use of their powers. And Law, even though his fruit has a potential for creativeness, Law himself is actually not that creative with the powers. Like, we've seen little hints of what he can do with his powers, but realistically, he's kind of like a one-trick pony with the thing where, like, for example, with Hawkins, he used the ability where he throws a rock at him and then he swaps places with it. He's used that ability multiple times, especially against Doflamingo and other people like that.
Time.
All right. Well, I believe he can use it in very creative way. Like counter shock is typically like him mimicking the defibrillator, and defibrillator typically brings people to life, brings them back. He used it as an alternative counterattack move, and fucked Doflamingo and Virgo up with that anime. But anyway, he fucked them up with that, and he used it as a counter-offensive move.
I mean, it's one thing to say that Like he has cool moves and all that, and he has like useful abilities, but like you don't like the most creative people in the classroom don't become doctors. They might write a story or some shit,
Yeah.
make a rap, but you're not creative for getting a fucking PhD,
Right.
my nigga. You're smart.
Mm-hmm.
I think
That's a
that's
great
time.
point.
Also, I'd like Buggy flying really isn't any kind of application of his power. It's literally a byproduct of it. It's just like that happens. That's not him doing anything. So I mean, you can't really say that's a creative application of his power because he's not doing it at all. It's a byproduct of it.
That's not true at all, because the base of his fruit is just that he can
Yeah.
be split up into multiple pieces. The reason that he can fly is because he's using it in a specific way where he's pretty much like abusing the rules of his power to make it so that he can fly. He doesn't have the fly fruit, or he doesn't have anything related to gravity. He's just using his powers in that way. It's kind of like how Luffy with his Gear Second, where he doesn't have anything related to blood manipulation. He's just okay.
Good point.
Well, I didn't say he had the fly fruit. I said that it's a byproduct of his power that the pieces that are split up float around and shit. So that the fact that he's doing that isn't a unique application of it. Like you said, he's just taking advantage of that fact.
The thing is, like, where you guys are, everything you guys described is is in the base kit of that fruit. Buggy's base kit is just splitting himself in half. Flying, turning himself into car. Everything we went over is unique to him. Not everybody that has that devil fruit can do these kinds of things. Whereas everything you guys described with Law, anybody with that fruit could do and would do, because that's all that fruit does.
Absolutely not. Hold on, man. Sorry. It's my turn.
Literally everything that Buggy does, anybody with the fucking split fruit could do.
No. First of all,
Stop. Vengeful has to finish.
Sorry.
I mean, that was just my main contention. Like, it's just that's the same side. There's two sides to the coin that you just presented. Like, the same thing is true with Buggy.
But the question is creativity. It's not to say that nobody could do that. It's who would do that. Buggy is doing these things
because like it's.
Let me finish.
Right,
Buggy is doing these things because he is creative. Law is not doing those things because he's creative. He's doing that because that is his fruit, and that's what his fruit does.
Mayor. First of all, anything in Law's operated room is his toy, correct? That's all the exterior. Anything he does internally is everything that he's improvised on. So when we talk about Gamma Knife, that is all internal and it's all anything he's improvised on.
True.
Wait, is that your guys' time? Wait, hold on. Can I go on this one?
Go ahead, Fruit.
Yeah, so we have like a base understanding of what Law's powers can do, right? He can do insane shit like swap personalities with people like that, but he doesn't use that power in any of like the battles that he's in. If you look at his fight with Virgo, all he did was just chop him in half. If you look at his fight with Doflamingo, he didn't really use any insane tricks outside of like his base abilities. Same thing with his fight with Hawkins. He's just using his in the most simple way. Like when you have a fruit that's like one of the most powerful fruits in the series, and you're not like abusing it.
What good would switching a personality do in a fight with somebody? You're just going to beat your own body up. I mean, he used it as a plot device to keep the Straw Hats where he wanted them to be in that arc. That's not really, you can't, I don't know. That's not really a valid argument. I don't think anyway.
Well,
if you used it in a fight, you won that motherfucking fight. If that nigga put Kaido's soul into a slug on the ground, all he would have to do is step on him and it would kill Kaido. but in terms of like creativity though, creativity has a shock value. With Buggy, we never know what he's going to do because he's creative. With Law, every time he does something, you're never shocked that he did it because that's his base kit. He's not creating anything to shock us with. Every time he uses his ability, I'm like, yep, classic Law. That's what I expected.
That's just because you assume the ability is broken enough to do crazy shit all the time. I mean, like Virgo said, within the space of the room, that's all improvised shit. The base ability of his fruit is to create that room. All the other shit, all the attacks he's created, that's unique applications of his fruit.
Nigga, the room is where he operates. If anybody had that fruit, they can do the exact same thing. It's not creative. It's not like he could choose to make the room a ball of flame.
Like I said, he's using room as exterior.
Is it whose turn is it?
Yeah, what is it? The 30 seconds?
It's supposed to be your guys' turn.
Okay.
Guys' time, sorry.
Yeah, well, the thing is like when you think about the potential of Law's fruit and you think about how he used it, I think the most creative thing that he's done so far was swapping Luffy when he did the punch to get a free hit on Doflamingo. And like, if you compare that to like some of the things Buggy has done in terms of like, you know, like literally turning himself into a car when cars don't even exist in One Piece, like that is some like nutty shit.
Yeah. You just contradicted a point of what someone else said because you just kept saying him doing shit like that, just swapping places with something is not creative. You just said it was the base kit, so now doing that to Luffy is all of a sudden creative. What about when he did something similar to Buggy, like making his own arm fly and cut somebody? You do not get to open no me and get to do whatever you want. You have to actually have the medical expertise to apply that and be knowledgeable enough to do all of these things. You're an operating table. You have to be a doctor. You have to be able to do these things. Law is pushing his fruit to its maximum efficiency in a lot of creative ways. He takes people's head and will just throw it on a barrel, chop it up, and just leave that shit on the railing and go out on that day.
Okay. So going off of that exact point you made is our point. Because you're saying Law is an actual doctor with a degree.
Exactly.
He learned basic procedures. That's not creativity because he was taught a procedure and then he got a fruit that allowed him to perform these procedures better than anybody else can do. But he didn't create these procedures. These procedures are procedures he was taught from his degree.
Professor Johnson.
It's your guys' turn.
I mean, they're not direct medical procedures. That's what he's named them after. They're fucking. He's affecting things on a level of like matter. Like, let's not belittle that. You know, like, I don't know.
He's literally like diving into their anatomy.
I don't want to overhype I don't want to overhype what Law is actually doing. You say shit or things like. You would have to be even a doctor just to use the fruit. I completely disagree with that. You have to be a doctor to perform some of the procedures like Luffy did, but simply just chopping things up and doing things like that, I don't think you need any sort of like crazy doctor knowledge to be able to do.
Right.
I mean, but like specifically placing that box to where it doesn't, you know, cut off any part of the heart or anything. Like, you gotta have
legitimately with his fruit, you have to be ever so careful because if you don't, you're legitimately fucking with someone's anatomy. You legitimately, like, there's no way that he could perform the same procedure on Mocha, how he saved her. There's no way he could do that without some of the medical knowledge.
But you're giving him too much credit because the real thing that you guys have been describing in terms of his abilities involves cutting things up and putting them different places. It's not like with each slash.
Not with slash.
Let me finish. It's not like with each slash.
Stop.
Man, that's some bullshit. Fuck you, Virgo.
We are now in the free response portion. May I remind you that if it becomes unlegible again, we will then end the round immediately. Please allow each other to finish and make your points clear and quick. Please begin.
The nigga means an auto.
Understood.
Go ahead.
So far.
Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good to go. So far, we've only really been talking about their devil fruit abilities. Moving outside from that, I've seen Buggy be creative and resourceful enough to be able to use any sort of weapon in any sort of circumstances. He didn't have the daggers that he puts between his hands in Marineford, but guess what? There was an axe on the floor because they took out the Blue Gyris. He used an axe. There was a sword around him at Marineford. He was using swords. He uses daggers, swords, any weapon that's around him. Plus, he created the Muggy Ball, one of the best explosions in the series. And then he created a smaller, condensed, portable version in that's suited for 1v1 combat.
Feel free to argue other.
And the thing is too, is like you guys fucked up by picking Law in general. We're not saying his powers aren't cool or anything, but this is a battle of creativity and the number of uses of your devil fruit. The thing is, you guys just don't have the resources to cite a whole bunch of creative uses because he uses the same ability all the fucking time. He might use it in different ways, but it's always the same thing. You're never surprised, like, oh my god, I can't believe Law did that, because you know Law's capable of that. When Buggy turns himself into a car, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
That same exact argument is literally true for Buggy. All he's doing is splitting himself apart. No matter what he does, that's what he's doing.
Hold on. Let me
literally, that's that.
There's a difference. There's a difference. He's split himself apart and creating different
Wait,
types
chill.
of stuff.
Let Virgo go. Liver.
You just lied because, first of all,
I
stated
pity.
how you use it in medical use. Huh?
Wait, say that again?
Oh, we're giving you pity by letting you talk because we don't gotta let you talk, nigga. Go ahead.
No, it's quite fine. But I'm saying, like, see, first of all, he used it in a medical use. Second of all, he used it also when he used it as travel. Third of all, he used it also when he used shambles to put fucking wood, like pick up wood. Like he has multiple uses.
He picked up wood. That's the limits of creativity is picking up wood. And nigga, anybody with that fruit would use it to do travel. That's not creative. That's common sense. Why would you walk slow if you can just teleport yourself to the other side of the room?
When I name multiple aspects, you're shooting it down because I'm naming multiple aspects. Don't do that.
Because you're still describing the same base ability, just saying, this time he did it with a head. This time he did it with a piece of wood. This time he did it with all this kind of shit. It's still the
what do you
same
want me
thing.
to say? Oh my god, he can split his part.
It's your fault. You picked him, nigga. You decide what to say. It's not my. I didn't pick him for you.
I know. I'm saying I'm bringing up points and you just discrediting them because I'm making points.
Because they're whack as fuck. I can't help it, nigga. I'm not on your team.
The discussion we're having is powers and abilities. We're not only talking about devil fruits. And Mihawk said back at Marineford, one of Luffy's greatest powers is his gaining allies on the battlefield, people that weren't his allies before, and that is also one of Buggy's greatest powers. And the creative resources
him with something that has absolutely nothing to pertain to
because Luffy wanted to, but that's great. That's a good point. But Buggy got all of the level 5 prisoners that Impo down, and he was creative enough to get them. He was creative enough to convince everybody that he opened the door and opened the gates of justice. He was creative enough to convince everybody that he can rival Shanks. He was creative enough to convince everybody that he was going to kill Whitebeard, and that gained people and gained allies, which is one of Luffy's and one of the best powers in the series. That is an ability. That is an
First and
power.
foremost, Law gained 100 hearts to become a warlord of the sea to do exactly what he wanted to do.
Using the same ability he's always used. Yeah, both of them are warlords. Both of them are warlords.
Buggy became a warlord by
the
accident.
same ability he always
actually,
that is
It was not an accident, so he could have leeway to do what he wanted to do, which ultimately ended up his plan to take down Doflamingo.
No, Law did it on purpose. Buggy
that
became a warlord by accident.
Okay, so if Buggy did it on accident, how the fuck is that him doing anything then?
I was gonna say that like people being extremely stupid and naive to believe that Buggy is doing this thing, it does not make him creative in the slightest. That does not make any sense. That is not a point.
Admitted your goddamn dumbass self that he did it on accident.
Yeah, he did it on accident. That's the point. He didn't.
That's still within his ability. If I accidentally kick a baby in the head and kill it, that's still my ability.
Hang on. If he did it on accident, is that a deliberate?
Your point was Law was creative enough to become a warlord. He didn't create the warlord.
But he didn't create the warlord, and he didn't use any special ability to get those hearts. He's been using that same heart ability half the damn time.
If you admitted yourself as an accident, then you can't say in the same sentence that it's a deliberate. Okay, I'm sorry.
Time's up.
Okay.
All right, guys. We will now enter into the conclusion portion of the debate. If the captains will meet me in For the People to get that dice roll up in there, do that thing to him.
All right, they got 10. I got 6. It's his choice.
What am I choosing?
I think you get to choose who goes first in the conclusion. Us or you.
Put it on them.
Yeah, y'all go first. Y'all go ahead.
Okay, you guys made the mistake because you had other characters that actually used their abilities a bit more creatively. Law is cool, yes, but the creativity factor is not there. Buggy is literally creativity because his fruit alone is boring as fuck, but everything that he does is so cool due to creativity alone.
Okay, Buggy is creative simply off the fact that, as I said, with Law is a doctor. He needed a degree, and he follows certain procedures. A circus is simply based off creativity, and it's different talents and how creative people are, and that's what attracts people to a circus. And Buggy's creativity allows him to create a circus with his devil fruit. And everything he does imitates a circus. He also, in a pirate era where people use ships, and we have not yet seen the technology of anybody to make a car. Buggy made a car with his fruit. How the fuck how is he creative enough to know what a fucking car is in a pirate era? Tell me that.
What a genius. That nigga's Henry Ford of One Piece.
Only Vegapunk is that much years in the future, and we don't even know if 400 years from a pirate era they get cars. Vegapunk don't got no fucking car.
God forbid Vegapunk and Buggy meet, because that's the end of the world. And the thing about Law is, like, you guys describe like two abilities and just continue to describe different ways these same abilities were used. There was nothing creative about Law. Like his little ability where he switched somebody out real fast for somebody else, I have seen that in 7 different animes. Hell, in Naruto, it was one of the first things when that nigga transformed into a shuriken and then came back.
Lastly, guns and explosions are some of the best weaponry that are used in this series, and he created one of the best explosives and then condensed that into a portable range size that's suitable for battle that he can shoot out of his...
Very nice. The vengeful ones. You have 2 minutes.
Yeah. I like how Grimm is so chill.
You in there, right? All right,
Law should use his ability on Grimm's hair. Get that shit fixed.
Right. Go ahead, the vengeful ones.
Go ahead, Naya, man. I know you got some words.
Go ahead, Naya.
Y'all just gonna throw it at me after I've been trying to talk for so long. Okay, well. So,
no, I'm sorry, G. Sorry, G.
So, when it comes to Law, the rhetoric that just because he's a doctor, disqualifies his creative use of the ability doesn't make sense to me. Because first of all, you don't have to be a good doctor. You don't have to actually have the knowledge and ability to perform all of these multiple procedures. Does he use the sword slash a lot? Sure, why not? It cuts through things like fucking butter pretty easily. That is probably the base of what the average person like you or me could do should have this ability. What does telekinesis have to do with a medical procedure? Nothing. He just levitated the fucking shit because what the fuck not? This is my room. I can do what I want. I'm God in this room. When it comes to like scanning other shit, he just scanned the shit like, oh yo, give me your denden mushis. You're not talking to anybody. Like that shit's an X-ray. Like he's applying all of these medical procedures to the highest degree to get the actual maximum efficiency out of his devil fruit. No one else is able to do that. I don't want anyone to act like they were not shocked the moment he used mess, and smokers like, shit, my heart gone, you're done. Then he went, you know what, defibrillator on the what did they call it again? The Yeti Cool Brothers. I think it was the first time he used counter shock. I think it was the first time he used against them. I'm like, oh shit, defibrillator. That's raw. You didn't put my room up. If I don't remember, I think the room might have been up. I don't remember, but like, I'm like, what the fuck? He can do that shit too. In addition to that, he actually swapped people's bodies, personalities. You guys didn't think he could do that beforehand. You were shocked when you saw that. Don't fucking lie. He used the ability just like Buggy to let his own arm fly across and cut Trable. Like, the point, like, at the end of the day...
Blade, baby.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you give this fruit to somebody else, they're not doing that. Buggy is just, I split apart, I split apart, I split apart, I split apart. He made a car, okay. Smoker did that shit with his ability. Ace does that on fuck, I keep doing that.
I know, bro. Like when niggas get going, they gotta stop, bro.
All right. What a mighty debate.
He became a giant guy.
Y'all niggas use y'all shikais in this round, huh?
Giant. Little man became a giant.
There were 2 out here, ain't it?
He made a nuke. He became a car.
Well, give us 1 minute to make our votes.
Why'd y'all pick Law, man?
My nigga, I had Garp, who has no devil fruit. He just punches.
He just uses his fist, yeah.
I had Koala, who I know uses karate, but I haven't seen it. I had Kid, who's boneless Magneto. Literally Law was the best option. I wish at this point I was here for the picking. I wasn't here to pick this. I'm just working with what I had.
I knew you guys were gonna pick Law. That's why I told them to pick Buggy. I knew you guys had to pick Law. I'm like, they don't have any other option.
We had no choice, but that was fun. That was fun. That was fun as fuck.
At the end of the day, Law still created his ability, so I was okay with it.
I mean, y'all niggas still losing.
I mean, he's creative, but we have Buggy.
All right, guys.
Buggy is literally creativity. So.
A circus is creativity on its own.
literally
Buggy would be more creative without his fruit.
Silence.
I know y'all didn't really want to.
All right. Milo, if you'll go first.
Goddamn AFK judges.
Both teams did really well. Like I really like the aspect of how they portrayed Buggy to say that he made a car, and yeah, that's something because like they made sure to say that there's no cars in this series, yet here this man is with the ability to split apart and makes a car. The other team did a good job of really putting home the fact that even though the fruit, you need to be a doctor to understand how to properly use the fruit. And for me, the argument that learning medical skill doesn't make you creative never really hit home, and the other team just provided more examples of what Law can do with his fruit. So I give it to Law. I give it to Law.
Oh shit.
As more creative.
Okay.
All right. So I thought the opposite of Milo, cause when these niggas when Lucy like came with like the right hook, bro, he was like, bruh, you learn medical shit, bruh. How that's creative? Boom! I was like, damn, like that's that means something. But like when Naya said that like the fruit produces the room, what you do inside of it is you. You are God. I was like, there is nothing else to say. So I chose Law for this one.
Yeah, it was a good fight, both sides. I liked, of course, the whole car shit with Buggy and the whole he made himself a giant. I especially liked it when they pointed out how Grimm short nigga. That's hilarious. I also liked the whole. I think it was Toddy who called Buggy G Ford. I was like, all right, that's hilarious. I liked that. The thing with the laws that I also liked and agreed with is the whole him being able to affect things on a cellular level is something that's creative. The whole point of when he makes the room and is able to change up move ships. The biggest thing that I thought got to me is besides all those things that were argued, whether or not they're more medical things or not, is the whole changing of personalities. That seems very creative, and I like the way they pointed that out. So, with all that, I'm gonna have to go with Law.
Oh, damn, man. Law, I'll hear that, huh? So, heading into the third round, we will reveal the final question. Now, before we do that, both of the team captains, if you'll roll one for the people.
Get the fuck back.
What characters have you used? You've used Big Mom and Buggy, and you guys have used Blackbeard and Law.
Correct.
Okay.
That's the question.
All right. With the remaining characters you have, listen to this scenario. The Sunny has just touched down in the center of Marineford Bay. The conditions are the same as when Crocodile defended Ace before his beheading. How do your remaining characters defeat Akainu and Sengoku?
Holy shit.
Special note. Players may not control any other character in this scenario, and Akainu and Sengoku will not fight anyone but the chosen characters.
Wait, say it again. I missed you over the holy shit.
All right. I'll repeat the entire question one more time. The Sunny has just touched down in the center of Marineford Bay. The conditions are the same as when Crocodile defended Ace before his beheading. How do your remaining characters defeat Akainu and Sengoku. Special note, players may not control any other character in this scenario, and Akainu and Sengoku will not fight anyone but the chosen characters.
I have a question. When you say defeat, are you just talking about straight up power scaling, or like we have to like get ace? Or
yeah, I was about to say, are we saving ace?
Or is it just like we just have to beat them in a fight?
Yes, you have to beat them in the fight.
Okay.
Yeah, ace is there. The entire scenario is going as it was in the story, where the Whitebeard pirates are attacking to get ace, and the Marines are defending that, and you have now fallen in the center with the Sunny instead of a Marine ship. And you are 3 characters that are on there.
Are our characters able to use all the resources at their disposal? Like if our character uses weapons, can we weapons and everything connected with those weapons? Are we allowed to use those weapons in this scenario?
If you're asking me if Big Mom can bring her ship, then no.
Big Mom, we don't have Big Mom.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking like Nami.
If that's an
staff
item
and
that she has. She cannot bring her ship. But if
No, my question is this can we use the entire scope and capabilities that we know of all the characters from start to finish, like the current chapter, or up to Marine 4?
We're talking about like when we say that we're talking about lineage, backstory, friendships, all of that.
Wait, what?
No, my question is actually dumb because Koala didn't even come before that.
Yeah, we should probably current.
Sorry.
All right. Is there any other questions before we get in?
Yeah, I think I get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, on the vengeful ones, the remaining characters are Garp, Captain Kidd, and Koala. On Yonko level, the remaining characters are Luffy, Nami, and Aokiji. Because this is a response scenario, you'll have 4 minutes to explain your thoughts. Froob, you're going first, correct?
Do we get to pick or?
Yes.
I guess I'd rather have them go first.
All right. Lead the way, Vengeful.
It's because nobody understands what the fuck is happening. All right.
No, honestly, before you guys start, the reason I picked you is because I know exactly how to tackle this. I just don't want to give y'all any motherfuckers any ideas.
You can ask one more question before we start, if you need.
No. We'll just roll with the punches and see what happens. It's okay.
All right. Please begin.
Well, I mean, this is a tough one to argue, man, as far as just straight up power scaling goes, but I feel like just having Garp is the thing is our kind of saving grace. I mean, Garp is gonna stand up to Sengoku, or
yeah, that point's already
really anybody. What were you about to say, Garp? Oh, you muted.
No, I'm saying like they are mutual, so like most likely like, Sengoku won't be a problem. But as far as Akainu, I mean, Garp already had told Sengoku while he was like being grounded, like, yo, if you let me go, like I'm killing this bastard. We have that in the manga. It has been said. It's just what it is.
Well, I mean, less so that, more so the fact that Sengoku actually saw that as a serious enough threat to stop Garp. But that's beside the point. Correct. Anyways, this is a weird fucking argument to make right here. How will they go about it? I think Koala's obviously going to play sort of a tactician role.
Sengoku would have words, yes, obviously, and that he optimize it like and stop for a moment. We're like, yo, man, like this has to be done. I gotta do this. Family, blase, blase, blase.
I think a good thing to also note is that we have Kid, and we could, based on everything we know, we could scale him to Luffy's level, and we know what Luffy was able to do even pre-time skip. So that kind of helps us. We got a lot of metal on the field that we could use to stack up some.
There's swords and shit everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And Koala being a part of the Revolutionary Army and them being able to use better tactics and whatnot would come in handy, come into play. We do have the hero of the Marines, Garp.
Yes.
Big fist, nigga. So
big fist.
With Garp, we could just kind of check Sengoku at the very least, right? We could check him because
Sengoku, like, in my opinion, that point is mute. Like Sengoku's done so.
I mean, I feel you. I'm with it.
Sengoku or Akainu, really. You could check with Garp, in my opinion, and then Kid can take care of Sengoku. I don't know. Not really take care. I shouldn't say that, but he can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Akainu has the kind of respect for Sengoku, not Sengoku, for Garp. He should, but I don't think he does. But like, if anything, I don't feel like if Garp like was fighting Roger, I don't think he'd have that much problem with Akainu.
True. But I think Koala is going to stick to maybe kind of a tactician role if she can.
Yeah, I mean, like she'll take out the fodder. Like I feel like she like be like, yeah, I feel like she will. Like,
she mainly plays that role.
The Revolution.
You're in the Matrix, Virgo.
Yeah, she mainly plays that role in the Revolution. She's like kind of a tactician. Because Sabo's lacking on all that. We know he's just a goofy motherfucker, so she plays that role of kind of keeping shit together, organizing shit, being the tactician. But at the same time, she's most likely gonna have to fight. And that's where that Fishman karate comes in. She's the only human we've known in this.
I feel like Kid could use a lot of the metallic stuff on the field to cause a lot of distractions and.
Oh no, he would cause absolutely
and cloud people's vision and whatnot. Like maybe force Akainu to have to melt through a bunch of fucking shit like in his way.
I mean, yeah, as we just seen in recent chapters, Kid's base is obviously already pretty powerful.
I mean, we already seen what we could do with one hand and Kaidoseki on.
Correct.
He's also a conqueror.
Yeah, he has conqueror's documents. That knocks out all the fodder marines off rip.
Oh, these motherfuckers got hockey. Yeah, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Stop. I forgot. I'm thinking Marine Corps. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Oh God. Will Yonko level? You guys now have 4 minutes.
Yeah, okay, so this scenario is actually pretty much perfect for our team.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, like, pretty much we have a 3v2 on our hands. We have Aokiji, who's perfectly set up against Akainu, which is they're exactly equal in strength. And then we have Luffy, who can take on Sengoku because he's old as fuck now and he's not nearly what he is in his prime. And we know Luffy is around Katakuri's level, especially after the Katakuri fight, who can pretty much you can easily make the argument that he can go equal with Sengoku. And since we have two pretty even matchups with Nami in the background supporting, it's just going to be like a pretty easy win for us. Like, if you think about how like helpful Nami was in the Crocker fight, she's just going to be just as helpful in this fight with her support technique.
I want to say, I just want to congratulate the other team real quick. They're doing a great job of showing us how bad your team would get that ass kicked. Now, with that being said, think about this scenario. We got Aokiji and Akainu who fought equally for 10 days. So they can just do their thing. But while this is going on, Nami and Zeus is making it rain like a motherfucker. Which if anything is a huge plus to Akainu. Give that nigga as much water as you want. Or Aokiji, give him as much water as you want. Akainu, have fun when your magma is turning instantly into fucking rocks and shit from the water. Now while those two are fighting, Sengoku is up against Luffy, who has already been shown to be resistant to his attacks. The only attacks we've seen from Sengoku are blunt force attacks, which Luffy has a premeditated defense already against. He's been shown to eat one of those attacks, as a matter of fact. That was before Gear 4. That was before all the hockey. And while these two are going at it, they better be dodging lightning bolts, because Zeus is making it rain. Go ahead, Luffy.
And we've already seen Luffy do thunder attacks on his own. If his thunder attacks were charged up by Zeus, because he can conduct and not get hurt, and he just like he did in his axe attack against Shiki, though it was a non-canon movie, the attack was still there, and the attack I'm pretty sure has been used in the series. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he can conduct electricity, and he did it against Shiki. I mean, against Enel, as well.
Yeah,
so
and also like just
charge up Luffy's attacks to make them stronger, and fucking Sengoku goes into a golden Buddha form. Gold gets conducted by electricity. We've seen that with Enel already. So Nami is only going to fuck Sengoku up, and the rain is going to counter
Not
Akainu.
to mention that Luffy has Snake Man, because we have to power scale this with post Katakuri Luffy. And Snake Man versus Sengoku, we have no idea if there's any way that he can even deal with an attack like that. Now you can just assume that he can because he's a strong opponent, but even someone like Katakuri got fucked up by Snake Man, and he's known for his ability to dodge attacks.
Mm-hmm. And as far as Akainu goes, if he's technically equal to Aokiji, how is he going to fare when he's battling against the elements on top of lightning bolts at the same time? That is going to be a very quick finish if those two are exactly equal, and Aokiji has two pluses on his side to kind of tip the odds. That fight isn't going to last very long. So even if all Luffy did was hold off Sengoku, we can wait until Aokiji and Nami are done with Akainu, and we're triple teaming that old ass man.
And that could even work the other way around, because Sengoku can't do much to Luffy, and Luffy is only getting stronger while Sengoku is only getting weaker. We seen Blackbeard right after he ate Whitebeard's fruit. The same Blackbeard that the world government saw to be around.
Stop.
It's our time.
Fucking cheaters. All right. We will now go into the response portion. I think it's Farouk's team.
Y'all crashed down on a sunny made of wood, and you're talking about there's a lot of metal. There's a lot of metal. Get the fuck out of here.
What is metal gonna do to magma? You're just gonna feed that.
What are you talking about? We're talking about Kid being able to have his resources.
We're talking about touching down on marine.
Akainu melts his resources.
What doesn't matter.
He melts his resources.
Yo, chill, boys.
Yeah, this is the 30-second. I think everybody forgot this is the 30-second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll leave it to the Virgo
My
side.
bad, I actually forgot.
Leave it to Virgo, because honestly, they're killing themselves with their points anyway.
Next team.
Let Virgo's team go.
Listen, man. Garp is equal with Sengoku, so that's a wash right there. That's just, that's an even fight. They're going to sit there and fight while everybody else is fighting. And if we're talking about current Kid, we're scaling him equal to Luffy. If we're saying that he's not at least fighting on even terms with Akainu, then what are we talking about? Because, I don't know. I mean...
please tell me what you're talking about.
I personally don't.
Hold on. This is our time, real quick, and I want to use my time for you to tell me what the fuck are you talking about?
All right, go ahead.
About kid being equal to Akainu.
Oh
Please,
my God.
call time on me, Grimm.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Go ahead.
No, we want
call time. All we want to use our time is to ask that nigga how that nigga takes on Akainu.
How Kid is equal to Akainu, or even Luffy for that matter, because he was lifting. I've seen Sanji lift with Luffy. I've seen Zoro lift with Luffy. Are they equals?
Matter of fact, nigga, we'll give you 3 minutes.
Stop.
So current Kid portrayed on par with Luffy, who has a form that can contest with admirals, no doubt. You don't think he's going at it with Akainu a little bit?
No,
like, honestly,
no. Fuck, I don't.
No.
Based on what?
Based on what? Well,
people on my team, chill.
I thought he was asking.
It was our time, Farouk. It's our.
Yeah, I know, but you got only one of you guys can talk at the same time.
Okay, so who?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'll go ahead. How? What are you talking about? At least Luffy has shown advanced levels of haki, intense speed, and everything. All Kid can do is control metal, which is the worst power to use against Akainu. What the fuck is he gonna do? Make that nigga bigger by giving him metal to melt?
Stop.
I mean, there's no guarantee. You can't say that it's just gonna melt at instant contact. I mean, it's got to at least remain on contact with. If they're going blow for blow on a back-to-back, I don't know. I mean, he's not gonna just cover him in magma and end the fight instantly. That's ridiculous.
This is the problem with. Wait, hold up. It's my turn. This is the problem with your guys' matchup, because our matchup is perfect because we have someone to hold off Akainu, and it's hard for you guys to do anything in this matchup because Akainu is literally portrayed to be Yonko level. He held off against Whitebeard, and Blackbeard himself during the time skip was afraid to fight Akainu with his entire crew on him. There's no way that the current portrayal, even if we would like to agree Kid is equal to Luffy, which we don't, there's no way that Luffy is going to be able to hold off Akainu like that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's your turn now.
Go ahead, Virgo, man. You ain't talking.
First of all, I'm being a stickler. I am. Said afraid to fight a kind of what you meant was shits. But anyway, I digress.
No,
no. That's your 30 seconds. That was a good one. Go ahead, Lucy.
I'll be a petty.
No, he's not done. He's not done.
No, but anyway, legitimately, first of all, I said Sengoku's null and void because they're already boys. First and foremost. Second of all, dealing with a
Stop.
I don't know.
Next.
Okay, well, you guys have been talking about Garp and Sengoku, and like you might be right, Garp and Sengoku could equal out whatever, but you're telling me Kid and Koala are going to beat Akainu. Kid and Koala, and you're telling me Kid can equal out with Luffy. Kid was maybe equaling out with Luffy in a base form, but Luffy has 2 other forms that we haven't seen Kid equal out with, and Luffy is not equal to Akainu in his base form, is he?
Them niggas ain't making it off the ship.
All right, let me take a tackle with this. So,
go ahead, man.
So Sengoku, Garp. I actually think Garp is. So I think Garp could beat it, but it'll take a while. It's not gonna be easy. If you forget about the Gojin Karate's ability to disrupt the Devil Fruit because his ability to use water and stuff, and I can't exactly tell you how water would affect Kainu. I don't know if it will solidify him the way it does magma, whatnot. But having her kind of in the background, using Gojin Karate water base attacks while Kid is in the forefront trying to fight Akainu could give him some trouble. The thing about you guys saying like Luffy could fight against Akainu or whatever, I don't agree with that. Because if you guys could scale him that high, I think we're perfectly able to scale Kid that high based on portrayal in the story and how they've been shown from the moment they've been introduced, from having 2 supernovas in the same crew, Kid having a higher bounty initially, them he being a conqueror now, them both getting beat by Kaido, and what they're doing right now in the story. So if you're gonna scale Luffy that high, I think we're perfectly able to do that with Kid in the same vein.
Well, that was the longest 30 seconds.
Trust me, I got it, Toddy.
Okay.
Yo, you just made the point that Luffy is not equal to Akainu. I don't know if you've been hearing our argument, but we never fucking said that. Your whole argument for why Kid could fight Akainu was you said, I think Kid is equal to Luffy and Luffy can fight Akainu. And if you don't think Luffy can fight Akainu anymore, I mean, how is Kid going to fight Akainu when we've seen Metal get fucking burned by magma? I mean, he has nothing to go against the magma, and he's at full count. He's fully countered in this situation. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of Gojin Karate, but we're in the center of Marineford, not at the edge where the bay is, where you can get some water. We got to the center, near the execution platform.
Kill them hypocrites!
Stop. It's your guys' turn.
Damn. Well,
just give up.
I mean,
I'm really hungry. Let's move on.
Damn, I have 14 more points for that ass too.
Go ahead, bro.
All right.
Okay,
I guess I'll go. The thing is even if we wanted to say that Kid and Luffy were equal, which I'm not sure I will grant you, but if we did, we also have to factor in the matchups part of it. And even though Lucid was trolling around a little bit by saying this, it's actually a great point that magma will just decimate any metal.
Stop. You're now in the free response portion.
Okay.
You guys are super fucked. You guys just
was going. Keep going.
Yeah, go ahead, Fruit.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that was pretty much just my point. It was just that like the matchup is terrible for Kid, even if he is as strong as Luffy. Like, Akaino's just gonna decimate that metal. It doesn't matter if he picks up every single sword on Marineford at that time. Akaino's just ripping right through that shit.
And when you have an awakened fruit, it's shown to affect the environment, and we've seen what happened on Punk Hazard. So I have little to no doubt that the floor is magma. I don't know what the fuck Koala's gonna do. That bitch is gonna burn to death in the first 5 minutes.
I mean, Koala's null and void, but like Garp the hero of the
Nigga, everybody's null and void. The only argument y'all can hope to grasp on is that Garp can hold off one of them, but he ain't.
The sad
Koala's
thing.
null and void.
Well, what you guys essentially have is a 1v3 because Kid is against his worst matchup with Akainu. Koala's already dead.
Yeah, calm down.
I mean, let's just say Garp's fighting Akainu then, and he's easily holding his ass off. And post-time skip Kid is easily, arguably, fucking fighting Sengoku.
Well, it took you long.
You're right. It is easy to argue that bullshit.
Long enough to come to that conclusion, buddy. It would have been nice to argue that in the portion where we couldn't cut you the fuck off.
It doesn't fucking matter, bro.
Well, I hope you have a good luck. Anyways, you guys.
The thing is, y'all are so dead. Y'all are so dead. Why don't y'all finally tell us how our strategy is not going to work? Because we've just been killing yours for the last 10 minutes. I'm giving you the chance to tell us why ours won't work.
I did not refute your strategy working. I'm telling you how mine's gonna work. So I don't know why you're getting so goddamn upset.
Oh, I didn't ask you that. Please tell me why ours isn't working. Do you agree?
I'm not refuting that.
So you admit our strategy is a badass.
Time's up.
Unrefutable. Unrefutable is basically what
Stop.
All right, guys. That was the round.
Really?
You did a good job out there.
No, we didn't.
No conclusion portion.
Yeah.
No conclusion
Yeah,
portion.
that's what we're going to right now.
Okay.
We'll go to for the people for the dice rolls.
What the fuck?
Man, we got a badass squad, nigga. We're taking everybody out with these motherfuckers. Big Mom, Luffy, Aokiji, Nami.
All right, I won. They go first.
All right.
Let's go. I have no problem taking.
I can't save you all this round. I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
I hope the judges
All right. If you guys are ready, the vengeful ones, if you'll lead the way, you'll have 2 minutes.
2 minutes to what?
Conclusion.
Give your conclusion.
To forfeit.
Say whatever the fuck you want. Or forfeit, I guess.
Yes. Well, I mean, admittedly, yeah, we're. I mean, I feel like not making the correct argument most of the time, but after we switched it up and presented a new scenario, I feel like y'all didn't do much but yell about how we didn't present that scenario at the first. You didn't do much to refute that actual scenario, so I don't know.
Is that time?
Naya is eating, I think.
Oh, bro, can y'all just call time?
We've been so busy eating, y'all. Nigga,
Toddy, stop talking.
Hey, Toddy, bro. Sorry, bro. One-on-one. Debate-wise, you can't handle.
You need to be talking to your internet provider.
That's quite fine.
Just let the time run out.
But yeah, at this point, I'm actually thinking that the better fight is Garp versus Akainu. Kid handling Sengoku. Koala running around doing shit.
I know.
You guys have 30 seconds left.
There's.
Bro, can they like call time or something?
How is no? Go ahead.
I said time several times.
I don't know why we haven't moved on.
All right, guys, that's time.
Oh.
All right. Well,
is it our turn? I say, you guys. I recommend that we just we use our time for a moment of silence for those 3 niggas that just died.
Fuck that. I ain't with that. I ain't with that, Toddy. That's a good suggestion, and we probably still would win if we did that. But let's stop getting cocky and stop getting petty.
Hey, someone shut that corpse up while we're talking.
Stop, Toddy. Stop, Toddy. It's all right. Let's get. All right. The thing about our argument is we have two good 1v1 matchups where our character Luffy can handle his own against Sengoku, and Akiji can handle his own against Akainu for 10 fucking days. So even if we had Nami and Luffy jump Sengoku, that would be great. but Nami is the best support that we've seen, like one of the best supports in this series after we've seen what she did in the fucking Cracker fight. And if you go back and seen her beat the God Buggy, but whatever, we know that Nami can help out in both of these situations. And with her Mirage tempo, she can get away from most situations if these guys try to attack her. Akainu's magma gets nerfed by her rain, and Sengoku is a fucking big ass golden Buddha that gets conducted by electricity. And electricity is not gonna help Akainu either.
And how great of support is Nami for Aokiji? Just beautiful, making it rain nonstop. Like lightning bolts coming down. You've seen what Zeus can do. There's nothing stopping her from doing that big ass lightning bolt again. And if it was strong enough to stun Mama, it's strong enough to eradicate Sengoku's old ass.
Not to mention, this is the setting is Marineford, so Aokiji has plenty of water to work with his ice, and Nami to make more water with her Mirage or with her abilities, and so like Aokiji's gonna have a field day with
ice daggers just raining down. Ice daggers.
Stop.
Everywhere.
All right, guys.
2 minutes felt a little bit shorter, Grimm. I don't know.
Hell yeah, it did.
It's
we will
okay.
now be moving on to the voting portion. Please give us 1 minute to deliberate.
Y'all need a whole minute?
Niggas is trash,
Stop it, Toddy.
Niggas is all garbage. Garbaggio.
Keep talking that shit. Let's wait till we play.
Right, nigga, that should have been a 9-0, nigga. They stole 3 points.
It should have been a 9-0. Y'all tripping.
For real. They admitted defeat on that second round. The judges come back and gave them a 3-0. What the fuck?
I never admitted defeat in the second round. I did in the third one though.
No, y'all admitted defeat.
Whoa,
No.
never.
No. I kept trying to talk, and in the second round, once someone talks, I can't say anything. That's the problem.
Obviously,
That was a juicy one.
Came out swinging from the start. Team Luffy, Aokiji, and Nami, you had a strategy. You stuck to it. You had Luffy holding off Sengoku while Aokiji did what he did against Akainu, but with Nami's assistance, you used the fact that the rain could be turned to ice. You used creative attacks. You guys did what you had to do to get the W. Now, the team with Kid, Koala, and Garp, you did point out that Garp could hold off Sengoku, but you guys were very iffy on the other points of the battle, and you never really decided good strategy. So I'm gonna have to give it to the team with Luffy, Nami, and Aokiji.
The question was, how do your remaining characters defeat Akainu and Sengoku? Not can your remaining characters defeat Akainu and Sengoku. I felt that the Vengeful Ones harped on the point of can, and that they didn't really add too much as to how they could actually defeat them. I don't believe I heard more than actually twice that of their victory. While on the opposing side, they mentioned victory several times, and Lucid actually mapped out an entire scheme that we were able to visualize as to how they would go about it. With that being said, I chose the Yonko level.
Okay.
Charlie?
It's only the last round if it's not a tie.
Yeah.
If it's a tie, then we might have to do a tiebreak.
Don't worry about any long analysis for me. This was an obvious thing from the get-go. One round, one team quit from almost the jump. So I'm gonna give it to the team that didn't quit, Team Luffy.
All right, GG boys.
All right. That was it for this first round of the One Piece draft. The Yonko level have won the round with a 6-3 victory. That puts them at the top of the tables in the first place, but it's only the first round. Before we leave here today, guys, we would like to have you guys in the chat in the premiere and as well in the comment section write who do you guys think was the best debater, especially in For the People as well, and who do you guys think team did the best, whether you agree with the score or not. We'll see you guys for round 2 in a few days. Yo ho ho!
Peace!